you're like, oh, Wanjiko likes to eat. Oh, she likes to eat Chinese food.
But life is not a Nigerian movie.
Okay, but I'm talking about.
Hey guys, welcome back to episode 30 of Let's Square Podcast. I think it's 30 now. My name is Austin Akindo.
And my name is Yul Titina. I was just swallowing saliva. I was just chilling then. Names. So, today, what do you know about today's episode?
Relationship edition.
Okay, like it's the good, the bad, ugly. It can even be a good effect of a relationship, even after you've broken up. I can say is that so and so got to know themselves better. That is like one. The ugly part of a relationship is that you have to deal with.
See, what happens nowadays? What happens nowadays is we only care about what happens at the moment. Gen Zs, we are dating for sex. We are dating for money. We are dating for
fame, clout,
and all that, and favors.
Oh yeah.
But we are not dating for a purpose. We are not dating for improvement. So, hata leo tuwazungumzie. Let us talk about some of these things, the good, the bad, and
the ugly
of relationships. It's relationship edition. So yeah, as I was saying, Gen Zs, we really tend to assume most of the things. For us, it looks like it's normal. But at the end of the day, we don't really know what we are doing, and we don't want to be helped. That is our problem.
We just go with the flow.
And and again, when someone is trying to help us, we are like, "We kwani unafikiria sisi hatujui?" And when even someone your own generation has started doing something that will help you, mnamwona ni kama amepotoka. So let us talk about hizi vitu za relationship. I feel like the last episode it was relationship, today it's also relationships.
Yeah. So for me, the good is that you get to release your good hormones. Like you're taking a walk, you can even get to know the teeniest thing about yourself. You can even say that after a whole day of walking and touring places, you're like, I'm not an outside person. Or you can be like, oh, so I like adventures. You get to know new things about yourself. And then you're like, oh, Wanjiko likes to eat. Oh, she likes to eat Chinese food. Ama unadhani, how do they know you like Chinese food? By taking you out. And then you get to see, oh, I like Chinese food.
Let me ask you something. You said that this is when you know something more about yourself.
Yeah.
So this is when you know unapenda pesa sana.
This is when I know I want baby girl treatment in a relationship. But of course, not to the detriment of the other person.
Anyways, it's good. You'll know yourself.
Like now, for example, let me tell you. Imagine you've dated a Luo. You know, Luo are known for, baby girl treatment. I'm talking about the money. Yes, they cheat at times. Or it is said. Now let me be serious. Imagine we date Mjaka. They treat you well. Anything you ask for, that is their command. Now tell me you're going to date. After you've broken up, tell me if you're going to put up with a broke person. Washakuzoesha lifestyle.
Now you understand. Now you have figured out that you only love money. You only want a friend.
No, you don't love money. You just want to be treated well in a relationship.
If you can't treat yourself well, what do you expect a normal person to treat you well? Anyways,
that's just a point anyway.
I respect. Another thing about a good thing about relationship is that you get to know that you can be loved, no matter how you look, no matter how short or tall, no matter wherever you come from. You'll get to know that I can be loved. By the way, anyone can be loved. That is the best thing about relationships. And you'll be loved to a point that you look at yourself in the mirror.
Do I deserve
this? Is it really me? You will be loved. You will be loved. The
That's
good
if
thing
you're
about
resting in love, honey, because as I said the last episode, there are people who are working like donkeys.
No, I'm not. But I'm not talking about I like you, Sijui, this Gen
Love
Z
stage.
things.
It
No, I'm
is
not
love
talking
stage.
about all those very funny things. I'm
Mm.
saying love. Kupendwa. Whereby you look at yourself and ask yourself, mpaka you. This is the point that utaenda upige magoti ulize Mungu, "Ai, ni mimi kweli napendwa hivi?" That is one of the good things a relationship can offer you. You'll be loved. You'll be loved. Now love can come in so many ways. Now, I don't want to talk about money, but because ladies love money and she loves talking about money, money itakuja if
I'm
you're well
an
loved.
advocate for money. I'm
Yeah.
joking.
Yeah. So yeah, that is me. You'll get to know that you can be loved. It doesn't matter who you are.
You're talking about the forms of love. Like, let's even talk about the love languages. You know, it's about the relationship.
Don't talk about money.
I'm not talking about.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
But of course.
Yeah.
But of course, there's gifting.
Yeah, gifting. You
Gifting
didn't say
is
money.
a love
Gifting.
language. There's the love language of
But then,
acts of service.
I want to ask something. There's this relationship that they can't really work without kelele. Can it be said that their love language is making noise? So the only way they can understand each other hapo ni tupige kelele.
It is not kelele. It is looking for attention actually. If you want attention from your partner.
So unaanza kelele. You start ranting like a mad dog.
No, you don't do that.
Unaanza kujibu.
Actually, there are people who can't deal with peaceful relationships. There are such people, or when they're just used to chaotic environment. That is when they feel loved, when you're fighting for it and you're like, no, I was saying this yesterday.
I have a question for you. So wewe mwenyewe, where are you? When you are too chaotic and or too peaceful?
I don't like chaos. I don't like chaos. But I'm not for causing chaos at times.
I'm an advocate of peace. We can proceed.
You're the peacemaker.
Yeah, but I hate
we were talking about the love languages now. Okay, so there is the acts of service. There is the gift.
Words of affirmation.
There is the touch. Or this is the touch. There's some people who like to be hugged, cuddled. That's also a love language. Now I've forgotten the rest. That's all I know. But I know there are 5.
Then we have the stud ones. Money is there. Love language ya wengi. Food is there. Love language. By the way, if you want to date a Luya and it succeeds, wekea chakula. They love food. Beautiful people.
But I feel like
that's a distraction. Food can also fall under gifting.
But now let me ask you. Imagine someone did something wrong, you know? And they're like, acha nimgoje, lazima nijibu akulete chakula. Yaani kila siku ile siku anajua amefanya makosa na kuletea chakula.
I won't eat.
You won't eat aje?
Kuna mahali nafika you eat.
No, there's something about hunger and anger. Those things go together.
Unajua ukiona hasira.
Unless it is something so meaningful.
Anyways.
Before we go to the love languages, what are we talking about?
The good and the bad and the ugly. And I was telling people that when the good thing about relationships is that you'll know that you can be loved. It doesn't matter who you are, how you are created, you can be loved. Uwe mfupi, uwe mrefu. There's something I'm really avoiding, but we can be loved. Yeah.
For me, what I know about relationships is that there's always someone, you will get to find that person who is better or worse than you in something. You can never be at the same level about something.
So is that good or bad? Or
that is good. They're either better than you, then you start feel like, oh, I need to improve, or they are worse than you, then you're like, oh, I'm better off.
So that's a
now, for example, it's a new thing.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Yes, that is what I'm asking.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Are you hungry?
No, where did hunger come from? I was talking about someone who can be better or worse than you in something. for example, let's even talk about money. In that relationship of yours, who is the better planner? In that relationship of yours,
I am.
who is you are?
Yeah,
That's
I am.
good. The next thing, who is the early bird?
I am.
Yeah.
Just continue.
Now,
I'm answering on their behalf.
Like there is that factor of who is better than who in something, and that way we get to complement each other. Yeah, so that's a good thing.
Another thing. This is the bad thing. A bad thing about relationship is that you'll understand that
that's bad.
Something bad I want to talk about is people can make you feel like you are inferior, you are useless in relationships. Very toxic relationship will teach you all this. You feel like there's a point you'll always be like, hey, really, am I a human being? Really? Because someone will make you go through a lot of things. You'll feel like giving
you
up.
don't even deserve.
Yeah. So at times relationships can have the good side, but the bad side pia iko. Someone will make you feel like you're worthless, very useless. Telling you right now. So that is the bad side of relationships. Though not all, just a few.
Just a few.
Yeah, just a few, not all. If relationships zote zingekuwa hivyo, then I don't think if watu wangekuwa wanawana. So some of these relationships can make you feel like you're worthless.
They can also make you feel the opposite, that you're really something in this world.
That's a good thing about it. Yeah. The opposite is just that some relationship will make you feel like you're someone. You're special. You're special. Yeah.
I was just thinking out with my facial expressions. I think the ugly is how things switch from the good to 110 degrees Celsius. How do even, like, okay, there are some people who when they leave relationship they don't live with a good heart. They live so damaged, and that comes from the toxic relationships we're talking about. But let me tell you something. If you call your partner toxic and you are in that same relationship, it means that you're toxic to them as well. Because literally, it's like you're justifying that you sat back when they did all the bad things.
I'd like you to remind me this point later. I'll tell you when to remind me this point.
There is no relationship where someone can just sit back and they do something bad to you and you're seated. Now, for example, you tell me to pass this cup to you. Let's say there's a cup here.
There's a cup.
Then I refuse. I say I'm not passing it to you. Senior. Let's just say that's an act of toxicity. Senior. Then I tell you, pass me a cup that is on the other side. Will you pass it to me? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Toxicity. There is that exchange of toxicity. So there is nowhere that you can call a past partner or a partner who used to be a partner, a person who used to be a partner, toxic and you weren't toxic, because literally there's something that you did to fuel it, to make them feel like, oh, you're not the only one. Yeah, so there's that exchange. So if you're calling your partner toxic, check yourself, girl or guy, whoever you are. Check yourself, because it means that you had a part to play in that toxicity. Because in the first place, if you notice that, now you're sleeping.
No, I'm listening.
Hey,
I'm listening.
In the first place, if you call a person toxic, it means that you had a role to play in it. And for you to survive that toxicity, you had to have survival mechanisms. And what were they? He did this to me, so I did this to him. Does it justify whatever went wrong? No, it doesn't. So, because literally for me, there's no reason for you to be in a toxic relationship whatsoever. So if you stayed in that relationship, then it means that you came out toxic.
Another ugly thing is that you get to learn people can be narcissists outside here. People can be very, very dangerous.
Don't just say wicked. And there's no sleep for the wicked, by the way.
So you guys, relationships can teach you a lot of things. The ugliest thing is utajua mtu anaweza kuwa mbaya kiasi kipi. Because now this is where now you're dating someone who wants to control you, someone who wants to be at the center of everything, iwe ni mbaya iwe ni nzuri, and
Someone
when
who
wamefanya
wants-
makosa they play the victim.
Yeah, someone who wants everything to be about them. Like, for example, let me even give an example. For example, I don't know why this always comes to my head. For example, person A and person B are dating. Person B gets an award for something, then person A starts to say, "You got the award because of me." Or let's say something just doesn't work out.
Though I feel like he point here, you got this because of me,
That's
can be,
narcissistic.
yeah, it's narcissistic ukiangalia from a different perspective. It can also be a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing, but if you say it in a way to make the other person feel like you never did anything to get
It's like
this,
unamdharau,
or I did this, this is why you're here, or I made you who you are today now. Say, or if something just goes wrong, then you're like, now there's this thing, oh my god. I don't know why parents always assume that we always want to make them angry. I don't know why. Then they're like, oh, you did this because you didn't want me to do this and this and this. Then you're like, it just happened. Like, you're not the universe to make things happen.
I reached a point in life where when a parent talks, I just listen to you. Ile move ya exchange and trying to prove a point. Because parents will always be parents. Parents will always be parents. Hata ujaribu kuprove point yako aje, even if they know you're saying something that is very correct, they won't listen. So in this relationship, you get to understand that unaweza kuwa narcissistic hapo nje and people can kill you. Kuna wale watakupiga.
That's another point.
Yeah, that was this. It's just the same point that I was saying. Yeah.
So it's my point. For me, I feel like dating can actually bring out the good character in you. If you think that someone is too strict or someone is just too rigid about life, give them a lover. Just give them. You see them do things they've never done in this world, and be like, oh, so they can smile. Oh, so they can do this. They can actually sacrifice something for someone. So like, dating can really bring out the good parts about a person.
Yeah. It's just that way. So to actually say something on the same, I'll just give my point. The same thing. You see, dating can, a good thing about dating is that you get to understand that good people still exist.
Oh yeah.
Good people still exist. No, now let me get into a point. So when you understand good people still exist, there are things that maybe you never experienced, but someone has come and that person is doing them for you, or I mean, if you just feel like, hey, okay, sir, kumbe watu wazuri bado wako. Good people are still there. The problem is that we don't really go for good people. Sisi, we go for whatever we see. And at times you don't see everything about someone. We judge books using their covers, right? We don't get to read the books, to flip the pages and get to understand what is inside. So a relationship can teach you that good people still exist and good things still happen to people. Because now it will get us back to the point of you can be loved and you'll know that, okay, yeah, good people still exist.
Okay, this point came then ikapotea wakati alikuwa anasema you can be loved just the way you are. But what I meant to say, let me see if I can even remember.
So as she tries to remember.
Thank you.
Another bad thing about a relationship is that they can create someone who you never thought of being.
That is
Also,
bad.
yeah, a bad thing.
I feel like there's sides to it.
Get to understand my point. Don't rush. Get to understand. In that now, someone has done something bad. Now you want to seek revenge.
Love made you a killer.
Yeah, you want to. Let me now. Good example. Wait. You've been investing in someone, giving them your money, your feelings, and all that.
Your
now,
time.
then they come and tell you, I
was just cruising.
Yeah, that is when now you unlock that bad side of you. You can kill just because of love. Relationship, it's on both sides. This is when now you'll get to understand that, okay, kumbe naweza ua, kumbe naweza piga mtu.
Kumbe I
this way.
can go to jail just because of Kumbe I can even kill and even
And
think
you
about
regret.
it.
You will regret, my friends.
Are you tagged, Wanjiko? Okay, now I've remembered my point. That love, relationships can change your perspective about love. hmm There's the good side to it, there's the bad side. Now, let me start with the good side. People usually think that love is all about the romance we see on TV. Mara, oh, they saw each other, they knew they were the ones for each other, they were meant for each other. Kidogo they kissed, kidogo we see proposal, marriage, then the wedding night, and done. That is love. There's this version of love that is about understanding another person, accepting them, allowing them to show you love in a way that they understand love, and loving them in a way that they understand love as well. Because honestly, let me just be blunt with you. If a person gets to know you, let me even say for 1 year, how long does it take for you to know the love language of a partner?
It depends with your brain. Kuna slow learners, kuna average learners.
No, let's put it standard.
I'm being honest. Kuna slow learners.
Okay, just give me a time.
It depends. It depends with how you can do it.
Let me even say 6 months, but 6 months, because there are people
But
who
can I be honest
for
again?
6 months and get married.
But life is not a Nigerian movie.
Okay, but I'm talking about these people who have fast relationships and they still are in those relationships.
Start dating
now.
January,
August,
April proposal, June, July marriage. Yeah, next year January, firstborn.
Now I was talking about those people who get to understand each other's love languages. I feel like it is not love if your partner doesn't want to love you in the way that you want to be loved. Yeah, if I know that his love language is acts of service and I don't want to do it whatsoever, I'm just like, no, that's BS. That's not love. I feel like that's something else. So what I'm saying is that love, there's that version, the second version of accepting, understanding, and knowing this whole other person and thinking to make the relationship work. Then there's the other side of relationship where you get to know of love as a disaster, chaos, and you just feel like love doesn't exist for me. Yeah, so relationships can make you feel different ways about love. You can even think of love is just a theory, but love exists. Now, that is for the damaged people who need to heal from relationships.
So relationships also can give direction to your perception about people. Now, in the bad and the good, it can change, it can shape your perception about people.
Exactly.
That is when you know that good men still exist. That is when you know that all men are trash. That is when
is where you can know that love is blind.
That is where, yeah, exactly. That is where you'll know ladies don't care about money.
No.
Wait.
They don't care about Surah.
Wait. I'm the one explaining. Relax.
Okay, let me give you the moment.
That is when you know that ladies don't love money. Some do love money. That is when you know height is not a factor in a relationship. Provided we can love each other, you'll get to understand this. It's a shape. Relationship can do the shaping for
now
you.
Let me ask you, at this point, are you done with your point? Like Usha state. Okay, at this age, umefika, or you say you're dating, right? In your stage of your relationship, what is your perception about love? Is it perception or how is love for you? Like,
love is real, my friend. What wanapenda huko nje? Just go and try it out. The thing is, though love is dramatic, relationships are dramatic, my
definitely.
friends. So the thing is, one thing I've come to realize is that not everyone, we're not the same. We're never the same. Doesn't mean makosa ya mtu mwingine is the same as mtu mwingine. Get to understand the person. People are different. people do things in a different way. As I was saying, my point was that it will shape your perception about people. Sindio, we'll get to understand that kuna wale wazuri, kuna wale wabaya. You know that men are trash. Then that is when you now know that ladies are cheap. Sijui nini nini. And that is based on that experience of one person. This is what a relationship will teach you. But at the end of the day, you'll come to understand that, okay, this is because Nani did this is because Nani did that. This is not the reality. Because we are created differently. We have different purposes in life. So it will shape. Relationship will always shape how you think about people. That is now when you start saying that, babangu ni mbaya, sijui nini nini. Your dad hakufanya makosa. It's that boy that you are dating, no shida. That is when you'll know that people can love you hata kama. Me, by the way, I usually say that relationships zinakufunza that love exists hata kama sura ni mbaya na wewe ni mfupi. This is for men. It doesn't matter whether you're tall ama nini, because now someone will say, okay, kuna kitu mtu ako nayo that I really feel like I want to get. Kuna huyu ni mbaya, and that's how most of them wako. Because watu wanasema, mostly watu wanasema watoto wote wenye wanaishi West and all that, wote wanakuanga ndoaje ni weak, sijui nini. Get into knowing them. Get into these relationships to understand that not all of them are that way. You'll get to know that, okay, kuna side A na side B hao watu. So that is it. It has the good and the bad.
Okay, I understand you. I feel like there's nothing I can add there because you've explained. Yeah, so for me, I can say that relationships can tell more of your background, because most of the love languages we develop as we grow up, or whatever love languages we project onto our relationships, are what we lacked in childhood. I don't know if that makes sense, but let me just be blunt with you as I am always. What I'm saying is that your relationships can tell more of your background. If you're someone who was never given attention when you are a child, you will develop the urge or the need to always be affirmed in your relationships, because you feel like you're not being seen or felt in the relationship if you're not being told each and every time that, you're beautiful, you're this, you're that. Then you start to project insecurities and blah blah blah. You just know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so I'm saying that relationships can tell of your background, because the love languages that you develop in relationships are what we lacked when you were children.
I think your point falls under good and bad, because now when your past comes, so it depends with how you handle it.
Or you can do it in a bad way or in a good way. If you are aware of being a better person, because I feel like if you're just there and you've never heard of anything about healing or leaving the past be the past, I feel like you'll have a hard time dealing with the present, like without, bringing them together and be like, this is what happened to me when I was a child, and it is repeating itself. Why? So there needs to be a demarcation, and if we're not differentiating our childhood experience and relationship experience, then that's a trouble. That's an issue. Sorry, it's a problem.
Yeah. Okay. So I think, can I move on? Now I want to share something that is a little bit, I don't know, do I say it ugly? But the ugly side of relationship is that at some point, when you love too much, you get to understand that people can leave you, use you, then leave, and you get into depression kidogo, suicide, right? So this is the ugliest part that people never talk about. When you've invested your feelings, when you've done all these things, then mtu anakuacha, they use you, then they dump you. Depression itakujia hapo, then kidogo alijiua. So this is what relationship will teach you. It can be directly or indirectly. You can learn from seeing people.
That the fault is the relationship or the person they invested their resources in?
It depends on so many factors. It can be the person, it can be the relationship. It can be the person if I was doing everything, but nikama I wasn't doing it for anyone, haja appreciate. It can be the relationship if I was putting most of the efforts than the other person. So it becomes it's something from both sides. So this is this is the ugliest part. Depression kidogo kidogo ni hivyo. And you can learn, there was a saying, you can learn from your own experience or other people's relationships. You just get to understand.
I even feel like there doesn't even need to be a suicide involved.
And that was just an
As long
example.
or is it okay?
Yeah.
Like the depression is enough. You know how to bounce back from depression is where it's tough. It is really tough. People go to rehab centers because of depression, see? Then there you go and meet wenzako depressed. Will you? Hey, I even feel like there's no need to take a depressed person to rehab because it only becomes worse. Because now they are surrounded by either drug addicts or more people who are depressed. Now it's like their energy is similar, but I don't know. Maybe it works. But for me, I feel like there should just be a school of cheerful people.
But you see, for the part rehab, it depends because unajua kule now you'd be given there's this medicines in mnapatiwa at least to calm you down.
Oh, the hormones.
Yeah, exactly. So either ways, it makes sense. It can work. It cannot work. It depends on you.
But tell me about it. What do you think about introducing a school of cheerful people or even association of cheerful people to peleke hawa to depressed? Because honestly, I feel like they need a change of energy, a change of environment.
But at times,
kama wajengewe hizi vitu za majutu na ngao kichangingi inakuwa glass, inakuwa.
But depression, at times I say that nifike point ya depression, you didn't want to talk to anyone. At times just talk to people. It helps.
No, that's the point of cheerful.
It helps. Yeah.
How is it for me?
I'm not yet done, my friends.
You know,
by the way, so again, I was to say that a relationship will actually teach you that people have problems outside here zenye si zako zaidi yako, and that you get to understand from the other person. You get to understand they have been living their whole life without their parents, or they've been sick, or all that wamepitia shida. You'll get to understand that people who suffer outside here from that relationship, because maybe utapelekwa out, you unaambia okay, leo tuende children's home, tuende leo tukani, you get to see these things, because at times mnasema kupelekwa date si lazima tuende tukule peke yake. We can go visit the elderly, we can go visit the orphans, get to understand life. At times you just talk and you get to know that okay, nani kumbe mpita shida kama hii. So a relationship will teach you that people outside here suffer, but wezi ona, we just wear smiles, fake smiles, but at the end of the day, we are good. Some of us can appreciate.
Even put that, you don't even need to go to children's homes and know that people are suffering. Don't even say about your partner. Like they all have their own struggles. Even if the struggle was how to have a budget and spend the money wisely, that's a struggle, right? People have problems out here. So like personal problems, and you get to know more people who have personal problems. I think I have one point. There's I don't know why each time I want to talk in a hotel, but I feel like in Akuja, yes, I have it. Relationships can tell you about your limits. How tolerant are you? Are you like a person who is, yeah, we can say that you are a quick person to pick up an argument, but ikifika point, now let me talk about mmefika love stage. Sindio? Like if you don't know about stages, we talked about it in the previous episode. You can go back and listen. It is just episode 29. Now, if it's a person you have been in love stage with, you get to know how long can you stay angry. Number 2, what can really push your limits. Then you're like, no, I don't want to talk to you. I just want you to leave me alone. Like you get to know your limits with anger, with anxiety. Yeah, that's it. Hey, now those relationships that are now serious, where you have been introduced to your moms, to the man, to the sister. Now you get to know that Nani pushes my limits to this end, Nani does this to me and I don't like it. Now you get to know what you can stay silent with. I'm talking about these mother-in-laws. Is it mother-in-laws or mothers-in-law? Mothers-in-law.
I wasn't good
It
in
is
English.
mothers-in-law. Now, for example, your mother-in-law likes to push your limits. Then you're like, this I can stay silent with, but this is the highest form of disrespect, and I must tell my partner, or I must burst. Now you get to know how patient can you be, how low, like how are you able to calm yourself down without necessarily creating a drama or even your partner noticing, but of course they will notice.
Great.
I know I have taken so much, I have used so much words to explain myself, but the point is home now.
Thank you. Now, my last points.
Your last
Points.
point.
1, 2.
Okay.
1. A relationship will teach you that we still have mommy's boys. I'm a mommy, whatever. We have mommy.
I feel like I can call that the ugly.
What is it?
Bad about that one.
No,
it is ugly.
I have work for you. I'll talk, then you'll tell me where it falls. So, in which category? Mommy's boy wanakuanga hapa. Relationship will teach you that there are these people who still depend on their moms
for
decisions and all that stuff. Mama akisiposema hiyo hawafanyi. Mama akisema unapata jamaa ako 50 something lakini bado anasikiza mamake. That is 1. Number 2, a relationship will teach you whether you're getting married to the society, the family, or that one person.
Or the clan.
So,
or the name of the family.
Number 2, where does it fall? Ugly, bad, or good?
That is ugly.
Ugly. Utajua unaolewa na kina nani ama unaoa kina nani. Number 3, this is for the ladies. No, yeah. Number 3.A is for the ladies. This is when you'll get to know. A relationship will help you know if you're going to be a communal maid, a family maid, a housemaid, or you're going to be a queen. Hizo vitu nne. Ugly ama bad?
Ugly. There's nothing good about that.
B, to the men. This is when now you know whether you're going to be the communal
Community
ATM, the clan ATM, the family ATM, the house ATM, or a husband.
But I feel like being a house ATM, it's like you're the provider. It depends with how. No, you can't be there. Automatically utakuwa house ATM. But the question is, to what extent? Inamaanisha now kila like there should be limits.
Like kila saa wewe ukiitisha. Unajua times I usually say that ladies aren't fair. At times you don't have to ask for everything kila saa. Wewe leo umeitisha hii, kesho ukaitisha kila. Wewe kazi yako inakuwa kuitisha. Ulipewa mikono na miguu, go and work for yourself. Pia upate.
If they don't allow you to work.
If they don't allow you to work, now you have the rights
to be asking every minute of the day.
But kama unafanya kazi, jamani, zingine pia wewe jifanyie. So that's it for me.
What is horrifying for me is community made, clan made.
Wewe kuwa do clan, utashtuka.
Also these men who still live in their mom's house. I'm talking about these men who marry, then expect to live in their mother's house with their wives. How will 2 women live in one house of different blood? This is automatically going to be drama.
They can live, but sasa ile drama itaenda kwa hapo. Because now it's like
competition of power,
attention. The man can't really make decisions on his own. Lazima asikie kitu mamake amesema. Lazima asikie mama alisema wewe si the Bible clearly states that is when the man will leave the parents same to the mtakuwa one. Wewe bado haya Anyways,
Unakuwa 4.
that's it for me.
Ooh,
Yeah, I
that's
have
it for
nothing.
me, darlings.
So, guys, thank you very much for watching till the end. This is the end, right? We
Yeah.
thank you very much for your support. Continue supporting us. Continue sharing, commenting, liking our videos. We really thank you. Hata ingawa at times we don't comments hazionekani on YouTube, but we see them. Mna text, maybe TikTok, IG.
Oh yeah.
So we appreciate all that, and don't forget to talk to us through our social media handles. That is Instagram is Let's Square It. I think Let's Square It. TikTok
Let's
is
Square It podcast. See?
any of the two.
It's Let's Square It podcast. TikTok is Ostina
Underscore
_254.
254.
YouTube, you're just watching us. Like, just comment down below.
Yeah. So thank you very much. See you in episode 31.
Yeah, it's amazing to not mention money again. Bye.